Wait, what'd you say? SpongeBob is evil? Who the hell told you that? Hey, Saucey fam, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all having a great day. I'm just here hanging out. Definitely not talking to stuffed animals again. Not again, I've never done that before in the first place. But yeah, back with some more lovely top 10 lists. Those of you that do watch them seem to really enjoy them. So I'm going to keep doing them because I also enjoy them. I guess. Not sure why I enjoy being frightened. But here we are. This one I thought would be very interesting because I have 3 kids, as most of you know. So I've seen most of these cartoons. Top 10 scary lost cartoon episodes you weren't meant to see. Yet, here we are, about to see them. I mean, oh, brother. Okay, all right. Well, let's check it out, I guess. It should be a great time. I really think it's going to be a great time.
Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Here are the top 10 scary lost cartoon episodes you weren't meant to see. I saw 3 of them growing up. Explains a lot. Let's dive in. Kicking off the list at number 10, SpongeBob SquarePants. Season 9, episode 11. Yeah, the sea sponge was well on his way when the scandals hit this time. SpongeBob kicked off in 1999, also a childhood favorite of mine. I'm growing into...
Really? Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that. I don't remember it being around that early.
Squidward now. I feel it mentally and physically. I'm like, I've got these long squid-like tentacle arms. The 11th episode of the 9th season was titled You're Fired, and apparently it sent all the wrong messages. This is quite controversial. Mr. Krabs learns he can save a nickel, literally, by firing the fry cook SpongeBob SquarePants. Patrick tries to cheer SpongeBob up by having fun all day around town, you know, goofing around, more or less ignoring some adult responsibilities, and at the end of the episode, he chills out. He starts applying to other restaurants, whatever. Political debate surrounded this one. Apparently, it was sending the wrong messages to our youth about the responsibilities of being a working adult. Listen, I get that. He's also a sponge. Also, maybe let's not forget why SpongeBob got fired in the first place. Like, let's talk about that more, maybe. Also, does Patrick even have a job? Let's get some resumes going for him before we give SpongeBob a hard time. Guy's the only cook. Give him a holiday. Number 9, Arthur.
I mean, really. I don't know. I have no comment. The world we live in today. Good.
I swear, DW, she made me more angry growing up than my own siblings did. Ooh, Dora Winfred Reed. Nothing but trouble she is. Another gem from our childhood. This animated family epic began in 1996. It officially ended a month ago. Apparently that was a nice surprise. Woke up, checked Twitter one morning. Arthur's like a hipster now in a cafe. Muffy's running for mayor. Buster's a teacher. Are we old? We're old. I'm old. Oh, I knew it. While the show was running this whole time, the showrunners had tons of backlash for one episode in particular, appropriately titled Bleep. The whole episode is centered around DW, of course, as she learns a curse word. We don't know what it is, of course, but she says it a lot. There's a lot of bleeps in this episode. Executive producer Carol Greenwald said in an interview recently that the episode received the most mail and feedback out of all of them. Yeah, they got letters, handwritten letters. I remember this episode. I remember seeing it, and I'm now doing stand-up comedy and cursing quite a bit, so more than fair. That's a good call. My mom was probably one of those letters. She's like, oh, okay. Number 8, Sailor Mouth. Yeah, remember this one? Arthur moms weren't ready for this one, not at all. Again, another episode I clearly remember watching. I hope you do as well, that's why I picked these. It's one of the most controversial when it comes to Bikini Bottom. Sailor Mouth, yeah, we're out here getting upset because Dora Winfred Reed learned one curse word. Well, in season 2, episode 28, SpongeBob learned them all. All of them, all 13. Originally, SquarePants learns one word from reading the back of a dumpster, you know, behind the Krusty Krab, just a great place for education. And he says it, and a dolphin sound is heard. And the garbage man nearby is like, I have never. He's like a YouTube thumbnail. He's like, oh, Patrick convinces SpongeBob that it's a sentence enhancer, but Mr. Krabs later corrects them. As a punishment, Mr. Krabs makes the dirty duo paint the Krusty Krab over, but when Mr. Krabs stubs his toe and says all 13 forbidden words, well, now he's in trouble. The 3 Sailor Mouth vigilantes then have to go and paint Mr. Krabs' mom's house as a punishment. It's funny, but yeah, same issues. Parents believe this one was encouraging foul language. To this day, it's one of the most controversial episodes, Under the Sea. Again, I have to agree. That was a rhyme. Under the Sea, I agree. Number 7, Stokey.
I don't remember any of this. I either didn't watch them or it just seemed all very normal because, well, my dad's a construction worker and my mom didn't have a filter. So here I am. A filterless, also construction worker. Nice to meet you.
The bear. Let's get stoked for this one. In many cartoons growing up, there was always a hidden message, or a very obvious, clear message. Like, you know, preventing forest fires, for example. It's a pretty obvious message when it comes to our pal Smokey the Bear. That's his one message. He kind of nails it. I don't know. The United States Forest Service wasn't too pleased when the second episode of Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties parodied their safety bear. This parody aired during the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, episode 16, so a lot of people saw it. The whole episode is like a bizarro version of Smokey. The punchline in this episode was that he was responsible for the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. Yeah, not a great bit. That's not funny. I don't know. The episode was obviously pulled and hasn't seen the light of day ever again. Yeah, can't show kids lighting fires in forests. I was gonna insert a link, but I'm like, actually, don't. Hit that thumbs up for safety. You wanna see the link? Hit that thumbs up instead. No fires in this house. Number 6, The Mask of Matches Malone. Mask matches Malone. It's kind of like a tongue twister. Going back to the nerd days for this one. Here we go. Let's go. The Brave and the Bold is an animated Batman series. It's actually amazing. The respect I have for DC with their animated series and their comics, they're dark. They're great. They've always been dark and they've always been great. But sometimes with a cartoon, you can cross the line with the content, even if it's lighthearted. For example, Brave and the Bold came after Batman the Animated Series. It was supposed to lighten up the mood, but an episode that only appears on season 3's DVD bonus features a Birds of Prey song. A nice catchy song to get stuck in your head. How fun. We love those. Catwoman, Huntress, Black Canary, they all do this fun musical number, just absolutely roasting the Justice League. The content was inappropriate. It was sexual in nature, something about Aquaman and a little fish, you know. You can connect those dots in your head. The jokes were great, but certainly not for a cartoon. The 2020 Birds of Prey movie was rated R. You know what I mean? So sometimes the content has to be harsh in order for it to be comic accurate. Number 5, Pokemon. Ooh, lots of nostalgia for this one. Here we go. Gotta catch them all. This was a staple of my childhood. Pokemon is great. Apparently I can't get enough, even as a 27-year-old. I see Pokemon Go in the App Store and I'm like, do I do it? Do I commit? My data plan's like, no, you do not commit. Go, get out of here. I want to be a speed walker and collect them all. So tempting. An episode that aired in 1997 was titled Electric Soldier Porygon. It was all but fun and games, really. It was pulled off the air almost immediately because these bright strobe-like animations. Yeah, it was causing seizures. This is an issue that can repeat itself even today. When I saw Incredibles 2 in theaters when it first came out, opening night, you know what's up. There's a scene where the villain, Screenslaver, is fighting Elastigirl, but there's crazy flashes the entire time. It's supposed to confuse Elastigirl, it's the whole point. Disney Pixar had to edit the scene and then re-release it because of medical issues, just like the same thing with Electric Soldier Porygon. So, it can even happen today. We're not learning yet. Number 4, Gargoyles. Another staple from my childhood. Here we go. What a fun list. Allow me to do more, please. Hit that so I can do more into my childhood. Here we go. Born the same year as I was, Gargoyles kicked off in 1994. Gargoyles who come to life at night and protect the city. What's there not to love, honestly? Concept art for the canceled live-action Disney movie had the internet buzzing recently. And with Disney Plus being so successful, never say never to a live adaptation. Just don't expect it to be the season 1 episode titled Deadly Force. That probably won't make it into the final script. Again, I'll reinforce that cartoons, their first objective is to send a message. Sometimes that message is just too dark in nature. A cartoon like Gargoyles explaining the dangers of firearms, yeah, they had good intentions, but listen to what I just said. Obviously, it's gonna be scary. When the human detective Eliza is severely injured and barely survives emergency surgery, the staff still views the episode as a teachable moment. So on Disney XD and Toon Disney, the scenes are recut. So now you just see Eliza's face the whole time, instead of the horrible scene that they originally released. Yeah, it's still jarring to see just her face in a horrible situation, so yeah. The whole message is don't play with firearms, but like honestly, it's so scary. Way more haunting, but I don't know. Number 3, Garbage Pail Kids. Little older than this
Wow, that face he just made. I've been trying to think who his mannerisms are, or who his mannerisms remind me of. Because he said, God, Garbage Pail Kids. Oh, good Lord. My saucy mom's been so into showing the kids all these things that we grew up on, and this is one of them. What was I just going to say? Oh, he said that he's a stand-up comic, which I did not know. I find him very funny. I absolutely love his sense of humor and his style of comedy. But the face that he just made was Chris D'Elia all day long. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. It's his influences must be some Chris D'Elia, but also some others, because just the way that he lines up jokes and gives you punchlines, I don't know. But the facial expression he just made was Chris D'Elia all day long. I mean, look at him. He kind of looks just like him, but not.
arms, but like honestly,
I mean, come on.
it's so scary. Way more haunting, but I don't know. Number 3.
Right there. Chris does that all the time. I don't know. He does that all the time.
Garbage Pail Kids. Little older than this lanky guy here, but I still had some garbage pail fun.
Hey, let's chill out, okay? As far as the older goes. Age is just a number. Okay? Just chill out. I just have more experience than you do. So.
Growing up, I was still involved. These trading cards were the talk of the town in the late 80s. They were a gross parody, of course, of the Cabbage Patch Kids. We love gross alternatives, yes. My sister had an Easy Bake Oven, and me and my brother had the Queasy Bake Oven. Yeah, we're eating worms tonight, folks. Queasy Bake, wah, 90s, so 90s. It's like, whoa, worms and dirt. It's like, just, I like nice things too. I don't know. I don't want to eat dirt and like gross stuff. I want a cupcake. That looks delicious. Uzi Susie and the Gang. This was the grossest card game ever. So when the show launched, what do we expect, really, honestly? The 1987 show was deemed too gross for America. Action for Children Television reached out. Christian Leaders for Responsible Television also reached out. And before the show even got momentum, it was canned. Pun intended. I waited for that pun too. It's the first thing I put in that script. Number 2, Dexter's Lab. As if the last few weren't bad enough, this one somehow is worse. Swear-wise. What's happening? Why are cartoons getting so angry? I didn't see this one growing up, but maybe that's a good thing, honestly. Dexter's Laboratory. I could still hear his little voice in my head. This show was iconic. This and Powerpuff Girls had some sort of energy that you just honestly can't find anymore. Sometimes too much energy, like in the episode titled Rude Removal, for example. Dexter uses his big old brain to separate the rudeness between him and his sister. So now they have clones who have New York accents, who curse a lot. So obviously it didn't work out. And New York, New York! Kids are watching, eating cereal, they're like, oh, nice. Why is he so aggressive? This episode wasn't even aired. The profanity that they did censor was still obvious. You could still make out what they were saying. At least Arthur forced you to get creative. This one was just, this was just all bad. And finally, number 1, the Powerpuff Girls.
That was definitely my favorite well, one of them. One of my favorite cartoons. They nailed that show. Like he just said, those two, maybe it was the style of animation or something, but they just had a different energy than everything else.
Mentioned them for a reason, our lovely number 1 on today's list. Seeing as the Powerpuff Girls show was just canceled on CW pretty recently, I figured we'd dive into the scandal vault with this one. The animated Cartoon Network classic kicked off in 1998. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. It's odd from the get-go, this show. There's a dude, lots of sugars, lots of spices, lots of everything nices. It's pretty wacky at times. It gets really insane. The characters are bold. Little odd, but it's fun. Season 5's episode titled See Me, Feel Me, Know Me was a big musical episode. At least it was supposed to be. The trio meets a magical gnome. He causes trouble to the town and the girls save the day. As far as Powerpuff Girls episodes go, this was pretty tame. The episode was not allowed on US airwaves because the metal beams and the destroyed buildings looked like crosses. And one of the dudes apparently looked like Jesus. So it couldn't be aired because, obviously fair. That's more than fair. But if you want to see the Lord's work yourself, the episode is still available online on some platforms. Guys, I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Those are the top 10 scary lost cartoon episodes you weren't meant to see. Let us know which ones you saw down below. Which ones did I miss? I'll happily throw them in for a part 2. Hopefully I get one. I'll never tell. Bye.
I really like him a lot. He's funny.
This is quite controversial. Controversial? Versal. It's one of the most controversial. Sorry, can we just back it up a little bit? I'm going so slow. This guy's had 4 coffees, yeah, I'm slow. Thank you. Yeah, it was causing seizures. It was causing seizures. There's a scene where the villain screenslaver is fighting There's a scene where the villain screenslaver, slaves. A lot of words today, man.
Tim Hortons, that's your problem.
Okay, nice cold coffee will get me going. Chalk up my throat a bit. Anyway, so I got off track there. I was like, oh, I got the Easy Bake blender too. It was like a Fear Factor challenge. Gross drinks. Guys, I was your host, Taylor McWaters. Those were the top 10.
Yeah, it's his facial, listen, apparently it's contagious. It's his facial expressions. It's his facial expressions. That little smirk he did there, that was Dalia. That was all Dalia, all day, every day. I really like him though. He's funny. All 3 hosts that I've seen so far, I don't know if they're the only 3, but they're really good. They are really good. I'm liking these lists, man. Ones like those are kind of fun. A lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia. The other one's little anxiety ridden as far as the ocean and such. But I like that one. That was good. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to keep working my way through this channel, man. They post way more content than I can react to. So don't think finding videos from them will ever be an issue. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your night, though. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there in this crazy world, guys. This is Saucy Dad. Peace out, Saucy fam.